For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Sports Talk 305 network is back. It's time to talk Miami Dolphins football with the greatest fan base in the world. EJDConstruction.com is fully insured, liability and workers' comp. Call Eric if you need a custom home builder or general contractor. 305-433-4843. This is the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins Postgame Show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. Here's your host, the Big O.
All right, it's 32-29, and it's one of those games where I'm torn and I'm just going in all kinds of directions. Tua played well. He erased everything that happened the last 2 weeks. He pretty much played enough to win the game. These guys, his coach, unfortunately failed him. And his receivers, once again, last week and this week, receivers failed. And, and then you get a great effort. You're in the game you lost the game at the end in the last second. And, it's just the running on 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 2 and 3rd and 3 in a game where I got to tell you, I'm sexually aroused that Raheem Mostert ran 17 times for 136 effing yards. That mother effer ran for over 7 yards. I don't know what the math is, but I'm going to say right off 17 for 136. It's like over 7 yards a carry. And Salvon Ahmed was 6 for 43. That's over 6 yards a carry. No, 7, right? 42. Yes, 7 yards a carry. Both your running backs were averaging over 7 yards a carry. Outside, inside, all over the place. I felt like I was watching a Karate Kid movie. And there's a guy, wax on, wax off. Outside, inside, you were driving them crazy. You were gouging them for runs. You could have kept more drives alive. You could have put more points on the board. And Mike McDaniel failed today. Okay? Young coach. Again, just like I didn't get off of Tua's bandwagon, I told you, hey, he played like shit for 2 weeks. I'm not going to hide it. I'm not going to make any excuses. Tua kicked freaking ass today. Okay, Trent Sherfield and Tyreek Hill dropped touchdowns in one drive inside the red zone. And the coach, brother, take 1 point on the road. Why you got to get cute? Why you got to get cute on 3rd and 1 and pass? Why you got to get cute on 3rd and 2 and 3rd and 3 when you're gouging the shit out of the Bills? How in the F does that make sense? What did I say in the postgame? Now, let me tell you something. I said they got to run in this game, right? Remember? I mean, the pregame. But I thought it was like run to like move the chains. They weren't running to move the chains, dog. They were killing them. And the problem is when you stop doing it, Stella loses her groove. But Stella's got a finer groove, but you had it going. Mike McDaniel, all by his lonesome, lost this game. Okay? He was the main reason why they lost last week, Tua and the receivers. I give them the other blame. Tua was number 1 2 weeks ago. Hey, I'm fair here, man. Tua kicked ass. Defense did enough again for you. But again, if you fail on the offensive end, when you have drives that you can keep going with third and shorts, then you want to get cute. And this is all, again, I'm not off the McDaniel bandwagon. But Mike McDaniel now, it's his turn. He's had 2 shitty games. And I don't know. He's stubborn as hell, dude. Stubborn as. Remember what we talked about with Tua being stubborn as hell, not wanting to get rid of the ball, which he did it today. He did it today. Today he hung on to one that I lost my mind, and I said, yo, get rid of the ball, dude. But today, Mike McDaniel cost the Miami Dolphins this victory on the road in Buffalo. Now, I feel good about the team because I know that they can compete. Like I felt that they could compete in this game. I felt like they could win this game. I felt good about Tua, and he played well in the cold and snow and all that, and he was making plays. But, your coach has to help you. The coach has to be complementary to what's going on. And when you're running as well as you're running, you are not being complimentary and you're being disrespectful to your offensive line because they were moving. They were making shit happen. And Mostert had it going, dude. Salvon Ahmed had it going. That's how Tua becomes even more dangerous. But if you want to see, the thing is, Mike, I don't know. Let me see. Somebody, listen, I know a lot of people in the building watch this show. A ton of people watch it in the building. Okay? Somebody get this video to Mike. Mike, my brother, everybody knows you're going to pass. How about telling them? How about running? That was part of the trick tonight. The entire country goes, holy shit, the Dolphins can run the ball. We love you, Mike. You're dude, you know your shit. You're a hell of a coach. You effed up tonight over and over and over and over and over and over again. You go for those third and shorts. I bet you convert some of them. I bet you keep drives alive. You might pick up some extra points. You also keep your defense off the field. You keep them fresher, and your offense is more efficient. And if they keep getting pounded with the run, then you can hit them with your favorite little toy. But I get it, dude. I know you want to go out there and you want to play the video game and you want to go out and fly your little helicopter in your plane and it's your favorite toy and you want to keep playing with the same toy and all that. You got to play with the other toys. Mike, you got to play with the other toys. The other toys deserve it. They're called the running game. They're called your offensive line. Mike, offensive linemen like to hit more than be hit. So obviously they were enjoying hitting the shit out of the Buffalo Bills. Take it from a fan base that is used to getting beat by the Buffalo Bills all the time. You had your chance to hand them 2 straight losses. I'm talking about against Miami. You had a chance to do something that hasn't been done since 2003, my brother. And all you had to do, it's an old saying for us old people, way before your time, whippersnapper, keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. It's really not that difficult, man. Jesus, if it's working, why are you going to stop? I don't understand it. The stats are there. And every time you played into the hand that everybody expects, because everybody expects to. Did you see how tight they played your receivers? Because they expected you to pass. But if you give it to Raheem Mostert or Salvon Ahmed and they make one of these fools miss at the line, what happens? There's 8 more yards of territory to cover before they get to the next level. That's called your advantage, my brother. You can only ask so much, man. Your team is not loaded. This team is too injured already as it is. It's missing so many pieces. It's put together by scotch tape and all that on defense. X is a shell of what he used to be. Keon Crossan, are you kidding me? Come on. Vernon McKinley isn't ready for this stage yet. He's young. Kader Kahu is playing his ass off. The poor kid had that penalty, but where would you be without Holland and Kader? There's nobody else in that secondary. Let's be honest. They're playing with smoke and mirrors, and they're keeping you in these games. But it's your job as a coach to be the best assist guy possible. Let me keep my defense off the field. We're running the ball. Let me keep my quarterback fresh. We're running the ball. Let my quarterback avoid hits. We're running the ball. Hey, we're actually gaining ground. Let's run the ball. We're getting first downs. Let's run the ball. We're shocking the world. Let's run the ball. If it's not broken, what's there to fix? So last week, you couldn't work the middle of the field, yet you continued to work the middle of the field. This week, you ran the hell out of the ball, but you didn't want to continue running the ball. Last week, you could have run the ball, but you chose not to run the ball. Mike McDaniel, come on, my brother. I know you're smarter than I am. Anybody is smarter than I am. I'm not a very bright guy, but I see this. That's a bad sign. That's a terrible sign. I'm not very bright, okay? I'm telling you, I'm not very bright. I have trouble with 2 and 2, but I can see you can run the ball. I'm sorry, I'm not here to talk about the defense and all your stupid little comments about the defense and you're reaching for shit. And, and one play, Josh Allen goes to the middle, it's Duke Riley. I tweeted out, okay, Zach Thomas, John Offerdahl, Nick Bonacani, Duke Riley. No Derek Brooks? No Ray Lewis? I'm sorry, I must have missed it. No, what's special there? What do you want Josh Boyer to make Duke Riley? You want him to make him a great player when he can't be? You want to make Keon Crossan a great player? Vernon McKinley, you want to all of a sudden make him a great player? Come on, man. Come on. The guys up front, I saw there was like a little bit of a sighting from Bradley Chubb. Yeah, but outside of that, it's Jalen Phillips. He's growing, man. Buddy, he is growing. And by the way, Bradley Chubb does not get double teamed that much. A lot of you don't watch the game. There's something wrong here. A lot of you don't really watch the game. He gets chipped a little bit. Very rarely does he get double teamed. He almost had the sack when he ran all the way across the field. If you gave him 4 more seconds, maybe Bradley Chubb would get there. So that's not working out right now. Okay, whatever you want to say, it's not working out. He's not playing up to snuff. It's Wilkins, it's Jalen Phillips, it's Kader Kahu, and it's Javon Holland. Sakao. Okay, that's it. It's over. It's done. Nothing is left but the shouting. Okay, well, Zach Sealer, I'm sorry. Zach, woo, much respect. I'm sorry. My bad, my bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. Zach Sealer. Okay, that's it. That's all you have on defense, man. That's all you have on defense. Everything else is inconsistent or a liability. You can't work like that, man. You can't work like that. So defense did enough. I'm not here to complain about Tua. I don't want to hear anything about freaking Tua. He did everything that you needed him to do. You didn't help him as a coach. Receivers didn't help him by hanging on to footballs. Even on that out pattern that just toward the end, Tyreek had no separation. Nothing. Nothing. That route was super tight. There was no window there whatsoever. It was impossible to do anything. It's a terrible call, by the way. But, you want to keep avoiding the run, whatever, man. I can't help you, man. I can only tell you what I see in this game. And in this game, Mike McDaniel cost the Miami Dolphins a victory tonight against the Buffalo Bills. I am super pumped about how they played. I'm really proud that the team went up there, played really well. They did their best. They had poor leadership today, poor decisions at the top that cost them this game. At the end of the game, if you go just for the extra point, forget about Sherfield catching the touchdown or Hill, because now you're winning, by a point instead, because now you're forcing them to go for a touchdown because you're up by more. Now they couldn't go for a field goal if you actually did everything you're supposed to do in the game, but you didn't, right? And you could have more points. I don't know what would have happened with those third down runs. I don't know what it would have led. Who knows? Mostert might have broken another 35-yarder. I have no idea. That guy had it going on. Can't help you, man. Mike McDaniel, I can't help you here, man. I'm a big fan. I think you're going to turn into a terrific coach, but I hope you learn from your mistakes, because I see a lot of stubbornness the last couple of weeks. So San Francisco screwed with your middle, and you kind of figure the Chargers are going to do the same thing, but you didn't have a counter. And you didn't want to run the ball either. And now this week, the running game's working, and you refuse to use it in key downs that were obvious downs that you could have done it. Instead, you did what they obviously expected you to do: pass. And then it's the beginning of the game, and you think you need to go for a 2-point conversion. We're in the freaking early stages of the game. There's an entire world of a game left. Take the point. You're on the road. It's just poor management, dude, by Mike McDaniel. Poor management. I'm not blaming the offense. I'm not blaming the defense. I'm not blaming special teams. I'm not blaming Tua. I might blame the receivers a little bit because they effed up a couple times in this game. And I didn't like Sanders. Why does he stop? The F are you doing, kid? And here, by the way, one more thing, McDaniel. He's not ready to play. Every time he plays, he's a screw up. Just, I don't know. Again, I'm kind of dumb. Okay. I'm not really smart. They dropped me as a baby several times. I think on purpose. But anyway, either way, I'm not very smart. But if Braylon Sanders just run, child, run, he catches that ball. Tua throws it to him because Tua expected him to go. Instead, he has depth perception problems, and he comes back to get the ball. What ball? Ball went over there, young man. You had to run. Your quarterback anticipated you. It's like the Waddle one that he stops early in the game and he throws it inside and Waddle stops. That was one of those brain farts that Waddle has in the game. That was a brain fart today. That was one of his brain farts. That he doesn't because he's expecting him to come to him because the window's closing. So he has to understand what's going on. He doesn't read it right and brain fart. But anyway, whatever, man. Just watch the games. Pay attention to what's really going on. Okay. Receivers, to a lesser extent, and Mike McDaniel effed up this entire game. Okay. Super happy with the effort from the players. Damn it, man. They put together a winning performance if they had the right maestro. But obviously, today the maestro was, high as hell, drunk on acid or whatever, and he just the tuba was going in one place, the violins were somewhere else, the cellos were completely lost, the tambourines everything was just completely out of sync and out of whack. Thanks to Mike McDaniel. Okay. I don't know if I'm clear enough on this. I don't know if I've given you enough examples to open up the show here to tell you what the F actually went down. Because the people that actually aren't really paying attention to the game, they'll start complaining about the defense. They'll complain about a referee call because there were a couple, whatever. Whatever. They'll probably say Tua wasn't good enough or what. They'll do stupid shit like that, right? But they're not going to look at what really happened in this game. The guy that gave away this game and made one bad decision after another from the beginning of the game all the way to the end. Okay? And again, I'm not off the bandwagon or anything like that. I just don't play that game on this show. I've never done that for 33 years. Not yet. We're almost completing our 33rd year. We're not there yet. So I've never done that. I've kept it, as we say nowadays, 100. I'm a McDaniel fan all the way to the end. I love what this guy is all about. He's smart, but he outsmarted himself a shit ton of times today. And there's no excuses for it. That's it. Simple. I don't care about anything else in this game. Don't mention to me no referees. Don't mention to me Tua. Don't mention to me the offensive line. Don't mention to me the running game. Don't mention to me the defense. Don't mention to me Josh Boyer. You can tell me receivers. I'll give you receivers because I got too many examples. So, that's fine. But Mike McDaniel. That's the story, and I'm sticking to it. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. I know you guys do the super chat, but YouTube takes 30%. Cash App or Venmo, we will also read your comments, your questions, your complaints, your insults. I love you all either way. It doesn't really matter. I've got friends of mine on my phone sending me stuff that just like one guy was like complaining about the defense. I'm like, bro, you're not watching this game. You have no idea what you're talking about, And if you think it's the defense, you have no idea what you're talking about. That's all. It's pretty simple. I'll tell you straight up. You have no idea what you're talking about. And if you think it's Tua, you have no idea what you're talking about. And it wasn't the offensive line. Two factors cost this game. Mike McDaniel and the wide receivers, and it ends there. Those people carry their weight. The Dolphins win this game. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's start off on the Cash App and Venmo side of Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Let's see what we got here. Armando Swain, can Tua call off a 3rd and 2 short play pass or run, or is it the O coordinator that much in control? He's in that much control. Yeah. And Tua's going to do what he says, bro. Tua's not there where he's not Marino flipping off Don Shula. Armando, thank you, my brother. Much love. Peter German, also on Venmo, Cash Big O Show. Don't know why we stopped running in the 4. Sorry, but defense is not that good. Riley can't do anything well. DBs are invincible. But Peter, what do you expect? There's nothing out there. This guy's doing the best he can with what he has left. As Gary Stevens would say, you can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit. The defense is what it is. It'll make plays occasionally, and it made one. And dude, over the second half, they played a second half for you to win the game. But you got to do your part, and you got to run, not just on the Peter. You got to run the entire game on those third downs. It wasn't just the fourth quarter when he did it. It drove me crazy. Steve Chapman, thank you for the love on Venmo. Cash Big O Show. Tough loss. Very happy with the effort, though. Going into Buffalo and winning is a tall order for any team. Gives me hope for the remaining 3 games. Would like another crack at them in the playoffs. And Steve, that's the key now. Now you got to try to run the table here, and you got to get to the playoffs, and you got to win a game. But I also want to see Mike McDaniel grow from this. I need him to start showing me that he can learn from his mistakes. That, to me, that's incredibly important, Steve. Thank you, sir. Brett Franz, Cater Kahu needs to go, plain and simple. Go find the team of veteran corner off the free agent market. 8-6, Big O, this is not good. Cater Kahu is a terrific little player, bro. He's played a hell of a game. I know he made a mistake at the end, but he played throughout a hell of a – he's had a hell of a year. He's actually one of the top rookies out of the draft, and he wasn't drafted. I don't know if you know that. They had him at number 6 in overall rookies at one point, like a couple weeks back. But still, for a Division II undrafted player to be one of the better rookies, you're not actually Brett. I love the Venmo, but you and I are going to disagree on that. 1,000%, my brother. Darth Cater is the man. He's going to be your starter on the opposite side of X next year. Nick Needham will be inside if he can come back in time, or Trill Williams, one of the two. But Cater's going to play on the outside. Steve M says these play calls on third down tonight are pathetic. Well, Steve, no hate for two, I guess, and you are correct, sir. Mike McDaniel lost this game. I can't argue. I can't argue with. How about that? I can't disagree with Steve M today. That's boring. Come on, Steve M. You got to do better than that, bro. Giovanni, thank you, sir. Says for the love and appreciation. Thank you on Cash App. Very nice of you. That's Cash Big O Show. Cash Big O Show. Thank you, as always, on Cash App or Venmo. All right, we'll go back to now let's go to the Super Chats. All right, Sean, give me the first one. Freddie Fernandez, Vegas wins again. Yes. Yeah. That's what they do, my brother. That's what they do. Thank you, Freddie. I appreciate you. Next up, it's Chase Barrett. Boyer won't be here next year, deserved or not. Oh, I think he'll be here next year. What I think is he'll make some changes, and they'll give him more freedom to make some changes, is what I think will end up happening. And I think they'll try to get a little bit more of what they need. They really need a badass middle linebacker, man. They got to find one. It's not that, guys, they have so many injuries in the secondary. I mean, Crossen got injured at the beginning of that game. He was able to come back. Chase, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. P. Hillis, McDaniel cost us this game. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Terrible, terrible coaching on his part. I can't defend it. By the way, we will get Joe Shad and we will get Marcel Louis-Jacques here out of the locker rooms. Next up, thank you, P. Hillis, is who? What do we got here? It is Giovanni Antoine. Would have won if Tua didn't trip. Worst QB ever. Okay. All right. Appreciate it. Thank you. Completely disagree. Yeah, would have won if they would have caught his touchdowns. Would have won if Braylon Sanders actually runs for a touchdown. Donald Henry, drop balls killed us today. Of course. They're one of, they said it, right? Bills and the Dolphins are the top two teams that drop footballs in the NFL. Top two. But McDaniel, keep passing when you can run. Let me tell you something. Jimmy Johnson is a guy that I know did a marvelous job in Dallas, right? I think he gets, a little overrated over here at times. But there is something that he did say many, many years ago that made a lot of sense, and it stuck with me because it's tried and true, man. When you pass, 3 things happen and 2 of them are bad. And when you can run the ball, oh my God, it is a beautiful thing when you can run the ball. God. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Their best seasons in the last couple decades is when they can run the ball. When they won their championships, they could run the ball. Mike McDaniel comes from a run-oriented offense. Run! Next up. No, seriously, right? Juice F5, very pleased with our performance. McDaniel needs to stop overthinking. Defense was incredible. Cater and Sealer were great. O-line done a 180. Yeah. I mean, dude, there's nothing really to complain about except the receivers drops and McDaniel. That's it. That's it, dude. Everything else was set to win the game. Those 2 factors effed up this entire game. Thank you, Juice. Appreciate you. Next up, it is John Boy. Big O, so frustrated. We had that game, but the coaches lost it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. Very kind of you. Thank you for locking it in. Don't forget to hit the hell out of that like button, man. Let's get us over 1,000. We got over 1,400 people watching. Let's get over 1,000 likes, man. Let's send this out to the Dolphin Nation out there. Hey, feel good for the next 3 weeks. We just need McDaniel to make some better decisions. But Tua got back on track. He played a big game in a big moment in a place that all these people, silly people, were talking, oh, you can't play in cold weather. You can't play this, that. He played. Okay? He was fine. He wasn't the reason you lost. That's for damn sure. Freddie Fernandez. Horse collar robs the Mostert TD. Snowballs being thrown at our players while trying to make plays in the end zone. NFL in Vegas loves the Bills. Yeah. Well, I don't know about I don't. Dude, I'm not in, Freddie, I love it. Thank you for the support. I don't think the NFL has anything against Miami, my brother. It's just they were a sexy team. Get them on a Saturday night and whatever. It is what it is. And the game was there, man. The game was there. Thank you, Freddie. I appreciate you, man. Danny F. Big O, you were the only one in the media, people that was right about Tua, but you have to admit that this defense isn't good and doesn't make... Danny, I'm the guy that's been saying all season, this is not a good defense. It's the offense that needs to be I keep telling you guys this. Dolphin Nation, listen to me all over the world. The problem is you've been programmed for 25 years because the offenses have always been pathetic because they don't have a quarterback. So the only times they've had decent seasons is when they can run, right? But you keep thinking because the last 25 years, the strength of this team has always been the defense. And you're programmed to think that the defense is always going to bail you out. Stop it. Mike McDaniel and the offense is where the talent is at, where the elite talent is at. So that's why you need them to carry you, not the defense. X is not X anymore. Unfortunately, the growing injuries, you see him with all the soft coverage. It doesn't matter what he plays. He can't play, bump and run. He can't get in people's faces. He can't get too close because he then gets worked by the elite receivers because he, at the moment, is not 100%. And growing injuries, I don't think they heal during a season. Not when you're playing NFL football. So you look around that team, and there isn't a lot of elite. Stop thinking the defense is going to bail you out of anything, dude. Just hope they play okay. They make a couple of plays, and they keep you in a game. And do you know what the Dolphins have done for 14 straight weeks on defense? They've kept you in the game. And every time you've lost, it's been the offense. Every goddamn time. All 6 losses are on the offense. Do the math. Watch the games. The 3 games without Tua, you couldn't score with a fistful of dollars in a whorehouse. The last couple of weeks, offense gets stifled. Tonight, your offensive coordinator / head coach decided to give the goddamn game away. Oh, and your receivers also, by the way, also wanted to chime in and say, yeah, no way, we'll chime in at giving away the game here. Stop thinking that the defense is going to bail you out of anything. It's not a good defense. It's got too many injuries. If X was X, if you had Byron Jones, if you had a healthy Nick Needham, if you had Trill Williams as your 4th corner and Kader Kohu as your 5th corner and Brandon Jones healthy, I'm going to tell you, let's go, baby. Let's go to war. Let's go to war, goddammit. We got dimes and nickels and quarters and $50, and we're coming at your ass. And then all of a sudden, Nick Chubb would have his 8 seconds to get to a quarterback because you'd have some coverage sacks. But that game is done. Nick Needham ain't walking through that door. Byron Jones ain't walking through that door. X ain't walking through that door. Sorry, it's over. Any chance you had of having a good defense, it's over. And go look around the league. There aren't a lot of those defenses. There's only a couple that can really shut down. If not, they're all giving up yards, man. They're all giving up points. Go look at the games. Jesus Christ, look at the game earlier today. I mean, the Cleveland and the Baltimore one, those people need Viagra in their offenses. They can't score. That's dangerous with the quarterback with the I shouldn't talk about those kind of things. Some kind of crime could end up happening if we give that guy Viagra. But anyways, just on the other one, the Colts, in one side they score 30 points, the next half they score the other. It's a disaster. That's how this league is all over the place. You guys make it sound like everybody plays the shutdown defense. That defense keeps you in the games. That's all you can ask. Stop it already. Let it go. This offense, if it doesn't bail you out, they don't get anywhere. Look at the games. It's their job. They're the elite players. They got better players on offense than you do on defense. That's the fact. By the way, Robert Hunt, buddy, you got to start a little sharper there. More offensive issues. Next up, Sean, please. Phinz up. Big O, does McDaniel have no one advising? I mean, come on, man. How do we not run so many 3rd and shorts? Thank you for doing what you do, Big O. He's the head coach, my brother. Now, you hope that Darren Bevel pulls him aside and says, or Frank Smith or something, and you hope that they, what's that called? When you not self-analyze, you self-scout. I hope that they self-scout themselves, and I hope they can, you can look in the mirror and say, yeah, I screwed up here, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? I love what McDaniel's doing, man. I love his mind, but he's just a little too smart for himself. Next up. Edward Thurston Howe. You don't abandon the run in a snow game in the 4th quarter. I mean, are you going to disagree with the rich man? I mean, he's got more money than all of us. That's why he's sending in super chats all the time, because he is Thurston Howe. And he's right. He's right. Just like he's made lots of money, he's right. You got to put your money down right there on the running game. I'm with you, Edward. Thank you, my friend. Next up. Jose Lucas, Tua killed the can't play in the cold narrative. The new excuse will be he has to prove it in the snow. Win out and we're in. Phinz up. Exactly. No, the next one is rain, remember. Oh, now he can't play in the rain. And then after that, they'll say, well, wait a minute. Hold on a second, bro. Has he played in a Category 3 hurricane? Huh? because Joe Montana was playing a Category 3 hurricane. I remember back in the day, Johnny Unitas played in a Category 4. Has to have played in the midst of a volcano exploding and ashes everywhere because everybody else does it. Isn't he from Hawaii? Can he play? Huh? So, they'll just keep moving the goalposts everywhere else. He wins a Super Bowl. He got lucky. He needs to win 2 more. He wins 2 more. He's no Tom Brady. It's just stupidity after stupidity after stupidity after stupidity after stupidity after stupidity. The kid can play. There's no denying that. But, if you're Steve Young in Tampa, you're going to look like Steve Young in Tampa. And so you youngins don't have, you can't figure out what the hell I'm saying. But then when you go over to San Francisco, you're going to look a whole lot different. You're Kurt Warner and you go to, the Giants and you look like a mess and Dave Brown's better than you. And then you go to the Cardinals and, oh my God, there's like a coach there that knows about offense and you make it to the Super Bowl. Wait a minute. That guy won a Super Bowl in Tampa. And he won a Super Bowl with the guy named Dick Vermeil. Oh, I see. Coaching. Gotcha. Did you watch Alex Smith? His career, how he played scared? Did you watch him in Kansas City under Andy Reid? Do I need to keep giving you examples? Did you watch Michael Vick? He couldn't hit the side of a barn in the ocean. He couldn't hit the Golden Gate Bridge standing inside the Golden Gate Bridge. And somehow or another, he goes to Andy Reid and he gets him to a complete 62%, which isn't elite. But for Michael Vick, if you watch his career, that was a miracle. Coaching matters. Coaching has always mattered. That's why you can get to the Super Bowl with Wood effing Struck. Coaching matters. Next up. True Fin fan, sorry, Big O, but you're way off tonight. Okay. Well, we'll disagree completely on that. Next up, Leon Fresco, thank you, sir. More positive. We'll get key folks back next 2 weeks to complaints. 1, sucks we have no tight end. Well, they have a tight end. They just refuse to use him. On the final blitz, either a sack QB or a TD, the PI was stupid. Yeah, the PI was a bad play by Cater. He doesn't look back, and you're going to get that call every single time. That's not the bad call by the referee. If any of you think that, that's not it. That was a terrible play by Cater, unfortunately. And, you run into the receiver and you're not looking back, you're screwed. So thank you, Leon, as always. Next up, we got to catch up, bro. Kevin Beal, we had 2 thirds and 2 3rd and 2s and a 3rd and 3, and all we did was throw the ball. Why, Big O? We failed on all of the 3rd and shorts. Mark Sanchez was just as confused. He did a good job, by the way. Okay? The Sanchez did a good job. He didn't butt fumble the broadcast. He did a good job, man. Nice job by him. Kevin, thank you, sir. Next up, it is Irving Figueroa. Thank you, sir. At least we know Tua ain't the problem. Boyer fired. Okay, we'll disagree on that, Irving, but thank you. Appreciate it. Well, I agree with you on the Tua part. I disagree completely with Boyer. I'd like to see Boyer with way more talent on that damn defense. Sam Cavison, thank you, sir. I was so furious that my dog ran away at some point. This is frustrating. Oh, damn. I hope you find your dog. Damn, Sam. That's depressing. We lost Wolfgang when we first moved into our house. We didn't realize that there was like a little gap on the gate to our house. We fixed that already. There's no way that was ever going to happen again. But he snuck away, dude, and we went looking for him for weeks and never found him. Freaking, it still bothers me to this day. I know he's probably passed away already because it's like 17 years ago, so I doubt he's still living. But man, they're like your kids. It hurts. Hurts, and it hurts for a while. I still haven't recovered from Pegasus from a few years back, and we just lost Flashy just a month ago, and it's just devastating, man. So I hope you find your dog, because it's something that just stays with you, man. Because they're so close, they're so damn lovable, they're so loyal, so awesome. Awesome. You can always count on your dogs to lift you up and make you feel better. Always. Sam, I hope you find your dog. Next up, Renee, 2 empty possessions in that fourth cost us a game. Yeah. Mismanagement of the downs. I'm with you, my brother. Next up, Tom Wilson, Big O, kiss it. Keep it simple, stupid. Run the damn ball. Coach McDaniel, stop making complex with analytics. Despite the loss, I was entertained. No, it was a hell of a game, man. Hell of a performance. I was really proud of the players. I was really, really proud of the players. It makes me feel good. It sucks that they've lost 3 in a row. It sucks that they lost at the end of this game, that they could have had it. That bothers me. I'm disappointed with that. But I can't say that I'm disappointed in the players. I got to say I'm really proud of the effort that they gave. So I'm with you, Tom. I'm with you. Thank you, sir, for the love and the super chat. Next up, it is Manuel Malo. McDaniel lost the game by getting cute on those 3rd and shorts. The run game was going. Why pass there, run, and milk some clock, even if the run fails? Plus, it might lead to another score. That's to me, the way you were moving the ball. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like there was another touchdown left on the ground. I can't prove it to you, but the way you were running the ball and it was opening up the offense, and it bothers me. I think you left points by killing those runs with those bad plays, and I think if you keep those drives going, you get more. Another 7, another 3, whatever, but you would have complicated everything. You run more, you complicate it. You either Sherfield or Hill catches that touchdown, you're complicating it. You take the extra point. Is there a loss here? I'm sorry. Next up. Jose, we will win the next 3 games and see the Bills in the playoffs. And that's where you can exercise all demons. Even Tua, because, the Tua haters and disbelievers, this didn't do anything for them. You know what I mean? They're like, he did okay, whatever. But because he didn't win, they're going to hold it against him. Even though they're not going to see the things we saw because they don't really watch the games. You know what I'm saying? But that's all right. Thank you, Jose. Next up. Juice Cater reminds me of Madison. Jalen of Jason Taylor. Yeah. Dude, let me tell you something. Jalen Phillips is coming on. Okay? He's about to break out. He is that close to having one of those multi-sack games. I think he's close to starting to break out and become that stud defensive end that you're looking for, that maybe he can open it up a little bit more for Chubba Dub Dub, a man in a tub. Thank you, Juice. P. Hillis, Vic Fangio. That's the name everybody throws out there. Thank you, my brother. Next up. 3 more wins, very possible. It ain't over. Oh, no, amen. I'm with you. It ain't over. Hell no. Hell no, Greg. I'm super pumped. Now you got to go out and build on this, and you got to win some games. But this was a really good performance by a team. I'm really happy with the Dolphins players overall. Disappointed with McDaniel. Go ahead. Next up. Elliot, boy, you guys have been amazing. Defense had a strong half despite injuries. Proud of the players. Yeah. I'm so proud of this Dolphins team because of all the injuries that they have overcome. I got to say. That part is super impressive. By the way, Nature B is a proud sponsor of our program. And if you need some energy every day, you want to boost that immune system, you can go to natureb.com, order 2 months for $66. We're going to give you the third month for free and free shipping. We tell you all the time about it. I've been taking it for over 20 years. It boosts my immune system. And in this virus filled world, it's a good way to protect yourself, and everybody can take it. Kids, everybody. It's all natural plant pollen from clean, green New Zealand. Go to naturebee.com. Use our code Big O. Buy the first 2 months, $66. You get the third month for free and free shipping. Use our code Big O, naturebee.com. Next up, go ahead, Sean. Sidekick says, how about Javon Holland is, I'm with you, Sidekick. He's such a stud, dude. He's done a great job. He can't take as many chances as he normally could because he doesn't have the other cover guys doing their job. So he has to kind of oversee everything, but he still makes his plays when he can. I'm telling you, without Holland and Cater, there's really nothing else left in the secondary. I just got to be honest. X is not even himself. Okay. Thank you, Sidekick. Next up, Night Big O. Did this game save our primetime chances? Yes, definitely. Yes, but you got to, wait, hold on. You got to keep winning here. The beauty is next week, you're on primetime again. You got to beat them. So you can keep everybody kind of fresh. You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep feeding that monster. All right, let's go. Next up, it is the Bug Mike. I told my friends during the game you were going to rip McDaniel in the post game. My Dolphins sabotaged their own running game. Bills had no answer. Yeah. Well, we call it like we see it, dude. I love McDaniel to death. I think he's fantastic. But this was hopefully a learning moment for him. Next up, art of the sport. The missed interception, grounding on Allen, embarrassing. Yeah. By the way, that was Javon Holland. Javon Holland missed right? It was. I'm pretty sure it was Holland. I made the note. Yes, Holland had the INT. Yeah. But I how can you hold anything against? It's like Jimmy Butler having an off day. It's like, what are you going to do, dude? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you can't pick on Jimmy Butler. He does more than enough to kill himself, to help this team out, all of that. By the way, Sean, did you send these guys links? Just make sure, send them links and check in with them. All right, next up, after Art of the Sport, Antonio Mendez, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Very kind. Next up, JG, I don't want to see McDaniel joking around with the media this week. Well, the cold got to him because it froze his brain. Yeah, I mean, McDaniel on those third downs, it was like me drinking one of those ices, Coke flavor ices. I like the cherry one too back in the day. Used to love going to 7-Eleven when I was a kid. My dad would take me, and this is early 70s, right? So you're going, you're 6, 7, 8 years old, 9 years old. You're going to the 7-Eleven, and you're getting your Bob Greasy 7-Eleven icy, your Zonka, Seipel, Kick, Norm Boulash. You're getting all kinds. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you, JG. Appreciate the love, my brother. Giovanni Antoine says, I was being sarcastic. He played well. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, my brother. My bad. All right, next up. You can't tell nowadays. You know what I'm saying? True Fin fan, I can't believe that you're taking shots at McDaniel to lose in Buffalo with what you say is a depleted defense, and you blame him. You lost me. Well, I lost you, my man. What can I tell you? I appreciate the love on the super chat, but you think it was smart passing on those third downs? You think it was smart to go for 2 points? You think it was good by the wide receivers to drop those touchdowns at the start of the game? You think it was the other drops in the game too? No, man, I'm sorry. McDaniel lost this game. It's pretty simple. I don't expect the defense ever to bail this team out. I have very low expectations for this defense. You guys have higher expectations you have higher expectations than I do, true Phin fan. All right, next up, but thank you, brother. That's the beauty of sports. We're going to disagree. Paul Rowland, defense let Bills hold the ball 6 minutes on the final drive. Yeah, that's how it goes, man. Why didn't you run the ball on those third downs, extend drives, use up the clock, put them in a more difficult position, but you chose to shorten drives, just like when you were just throwing the ball, casually for the last 2 weeks, deep, and abandoning the running game. It was just not a good way to. And if you think your defense is going to bail you out, that's what you're going to get. This is why you got to catch the balls in the end zone. This is why you got to run on third downs. This is why you've got to take the extra point, because you don't have a great defense. That's where the disconnect is. Somehow or another, you guys think that Keon Crossan and Duke Riley and all these guys are all of a sudden going to become great players. Vernon McKinley and all this stuff that's going on back there. That's not going to happen. X is not even he's a shell of what he was, dude. So if X can't be X, how in the hell are you going to start building from there? But that's fine, man. We'll disagree. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. Next up is Eric. Eric says, J17 GOAT Tua got scared when snow came down. Yep, that's it. He was scared, bro. He was nervous. Did you see him? He was shuddering. Next up, Phinz Attic Fury with Larry K. No doubt about it, Big O. McDaniel left points on the board despite 2 rough games. This one shatters the myth that Tua can't play in the cold in big games. Yes, no doubt about it. And the team stepped up, man. They played a really good game. I was really proud of them overall. Thank you, Phin Attic. I appreciate you. Next up is Matt Glass. Does Miami make the hell yeah, bitch? Of course Miami makes the playoffs. I got a house for a week over in Arizona. They got to make the Super Bowl. What the hell's wrong with you? Yeah. Damn right they're going to make the playoffs and get to the Super Bowl. Next up. Freddie Fernandez, Big O. I want to be your co-host. What's up? I've done it for 30-something years, my brother. Co-host less. There'll be no co-host here. But I appreciate you. Thank you for the love. Thank you for supporting the show. Evan Posner, McD is the flow of the offense, stubborn as hell, must be the pheromones in the head coach's office, needs a vet assistant to smack him in the head. The players deserve better from their leader, Peach from Montreal. Peach, yeah, you better give me some tips. I'm going to Montreal in August to go see Metallica. So I want tips from my Montreal friends. I want to meet my Montreal friends at the Metallica concert. I'm going to be there for like 4 or 5 days, actually. So it's like a little vacation in Montreal. We'll do the show from there and all that. Is there a Dolphins bar that wants to host us, by the way, in Montreal? That is your job right there. All right, Peach, if you're still in Montreal. Thank you, sir. Let's see. Eric says, any chance we lure Vic? Oh, come on. You guys. Vic Fangio ain't going to do anything without talent. It's his fault it's Chubb's. So Chubb is not playing well because of Josh Boyer. X can't cover people anymore tightly because of Josh Boyer. Okay. So Duke Riley can't catch Josh Allen. That's Josh Boyer's fault. Keon Crossan has to cover Diggs. That's Josh Boyer's fault. Okay. All right. Mike says, in a game where Mostert goes for 136 yards and Tua for 234 and 2 touchdowns, and there's no way we should have lost 3 weeks in a row of beating ourselves. Yeah. Amen. I'll go 2. Let's give San Francisco their due, right? Even though the plays were there, Tua was so off that, yeah, you could have won if Tua was on, but Tua was off. The Chargers, you got outcoached. I said it in the postgame show last week. I know true Finn fan doesn't want to, I don't know, he loves McDaniel probably, but McDaniel failed last week along with Tua and the receivers. This week, it was McDaniel and the receivers. So, shit's got to get straight. Thank you. Thank you, Miles. Appreciate you. Next up is Justin. Tua played great. We must win next 3. Amen. Amen. And thank you, Justin. Sean and I and Chad, thank you very much. Sam, they played very well. They left a few plays on the field and dropped a TD by Sherfield and Tyreek. Team is young, new coach will only get stronger. Lots of good to take away going into the 3 games. Very happy. I'm with you, man. You and I have the same thing. I feel great about the team. I love the way they played. Just disappointed, very disappointed in Mike McDaniel today. Very disappointed. Next up, but thank you, Sam. Appreciate you. And by the way, I will check on Cash App or Venmo if you sent in anything in at Cash Big O Show. Remember, you can donate Bitcoin, which is my favorite, at Cash Big O Show. Heat Phinz, the offense and defense wanted it. McDaniel didn't want it. The team as a whole has to want it more. Heat Phinz, I think everybody wanted it. I think McDaniel wanted it. I think he outthought himself, dude. He's so aggressive in his passing that he's not being responsible with his rushing. And that's the sad part. And that helps his passing. And he should know that better than any of us. So I'm with you there, dude. Thank you, Heat Phinz. Appreciate you. And this is Tripwire. Knew we would lose, just wanted them to go toe-to-toe with them, and they did. Battled it out to the end. Amen? Amen. Although I thought they could win, bro. I really thought that they could win this game. And they had a chance. Chase Barrett, again, thank you, man. You're awesome. You seriously expect us to put 30-plus points every game in a blizzard, especially in the playoffs? At some point, the D has to... No, Chase, I expect that in every game. Blizzard, rain, dry weather. Are you watching the NFL? You need to score over 25 to 30 points every week. Did you watch the game earlier? They were in the 30s, both teams. I mean, the Browns and the Ravens, they have no offenses. So you can't count that. But if you play Kansas City, you're going to... Dude, if you play Detroit, you got to score points. I'm not sure what you're watching, Chase. You want to compete with the Eagles, you better score 30 points, my brother. It ain't going to be a 17-14 game, my friend. You want to play you want to play Joe Burrow and the Bengals? You think you're going to win that game 20-16? Chase, you and I are... I'm sorry, we disagree completely. This is the 3-point NBA NFL now, man. This isn't 90s football. You got to score. San Francisco will put points on you. You know, all these teams that the good teams, they're gonna put 30 on your head, man. Hell yeah, I expect them to score 30 in a blizzard, in rain, in a hurricane, in the sun. Hell, I want them to score 35 points playing on the goddamn sun, Chase. That's today's NFL, man. Disagree with you there, Chase. Love you, but whoo, no, we are on 2 different planets right now on that one. Next up. Mike No-Go Zones. How many tables were destroyed today in Buffalo? Tables, backs, ribs, head, chin, jaws. Many, because there's a lot of idiots. I mean, you saw them throwing, you're pelting people with snowballs. I saw the camera guy. Did you see the camera guys? They're up there, they're filming, and they're getting pelted. It's like, you idiots. Like, come on, dude. What are you, 10 years old? Seriously. I know the Buffalo fans do a lot of good things, but man, there's a percentage of them that are just animals. They really are. Paul V, why are we throwing to Sanders and not our top 5 tight end who makes insane catches? Makes no sense. Who made that decision? Who made it? And all he had to do was run. That's what the route was. The quarterback threw it beautifully. Somehow or another, I guess, you know what happened? I know what happened to Braylon Sanders on that play. Holy shit. He must have something that says objects appear closer than they really are. And he was fooled that he was thought the ball was there, and then it was really over there. What can I tell you, my brother? You can run Gesicki down the middle and throw it up nice and high. Tua knows how to do that, and he could come down with it. You are correct. Or how about Cedric Wilson, who's a way more experienced receiver? So you put a kid that has diapers on, and you put him in a position for that. That's Mike McDaniel, my brother. I can't, he had a shit game today. Paul, thank you for the love. Appreciate you. Next up, Chase again. We need to add possession receiver to this team. I mean, they have enough guys that could actually do it. The problem is, you got to kind of dial it up on the offense. Again, today was more about you should have run, not so much more passing. But thank you for the chime in as always, my brother. True Phinz fan. How about we lost to the better team? How about you had a chance to beat the better team like you did in the first couple weeks of the season? I can go with that, right? You could have beat the better team. There's nothing wrong with it. You could beat the better team twice. You had a chance, but your coach failed. And look, the Braylon Sanders, that's another perfect example of a bad decision by the coach. But we'll disagree on that one, True Phinz fan. You and I aren't going to agree on this one. There's no way. This is all on McDaniel and the receivers. All right, next up. That's it? Oh, that's it. We caught up. Wow. Thank you all out there, man. That was a lot. Now we go to Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show on Cash App or Venmo. And let's go to Venmo. What do we got here? Okay. Let's see here. Andrew Fallon, thank you for the love on Venmo. He said this was a game where Rowe was missed badly. Knox was beating our CB all day. He just had a few drops that we got lucky from. Rowe would help a little bit, but, Rowe's strength still isn't really receivers and running backs. If we're going to be honest, his strength is tight ends. So he'll make mistakes there too, Andrew. It's a very, they're so deep into how many players are playing. It's just a very defective secondary right now. It's just not very good. And Eric Rowe might have helped a little bit, but really wouldn't have made enough of a difference. McDaniel's the one that had to make the difference today. Highly respectable showing in Buffalo, from Marco Ferrante. By the way, Marco, thank you for the love. Totally was on the coach outthinking himself. Proud of the team and hopeful they snag 2 of 3. Merry Christmas, my brother. Thank you, sir. Tuan K says, what no one can argue with right now. And I feel bad for Chris Grier. I'm a Chris Grier guy. Again, not complaining about Chris Grier or anything, but this trade is not working out right now. Now, maybe it's something that excuse me, a little gas here. Maybe it's something that he's got to kind of get adjusted to or something. I don't know. But Chubb is not worth the trade and the money. It's been a disaster so far. I got to be honest. Okay, I can't keep seeing Wilkins and Sealer and Phillips making plays, and I don't see the other guy. And go watch the games. Please don't start doing the stupid thing that he's getting double teamed all the time. Watch the games. He doesn't get double teamed all the time, and once in a while he'll have a little chip. And dude, if you watch some of the chips today, I went back. I haven't watched the second half, but if you watch some of the chips in the first half, they're like traffic cones. So if you want to get after somebody, you should be able to run through those fools. Really, I'm not impressed with Chubb. I can't argue with that. I love the trade. I thought it was a good trade for him. They needed a pass rusher. Obviously, with Ogba lost, it was even bigger, but I'm not impressed by him so far. Now, too early to give up on it, too early to say it's a bust, too early to say it's terrible. The guy's played some great football in his career in Denver. So we just can't just turn it off like that and it's gone. I don't know. Maybe something needs to click for him. I'm not smart enough. Adam Hernandez, Tua proved that he can win in the cold. He did his job. Run on 3rd and 1. Can you argue with Adam Hernandez? Run on 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, and 3rd and 3 today. The way you were running the ball, both running backs averaging over 7 yards a carry, you got right. You better run the ball. Adam Pinkser, thank you, sir. As always, appreciate the love and the incredible dedication to the show. Extremely frustrated tonight. Oh, too many field goals that should have been TDs. I agree. McDaniel screwed this up. No Mostert in the fourth quarter. Very frustrating. Exactly. I'm with you. Very disappointing, man. It's one of those deals that you like. You just feel that you had an opportunity to do something and you couldn't get away with it because you stopped yourself, basically, is what it is. You stopped yourself. All right, what's next there on the Super Chats? Because I saw a couple came in. Hunter De Lima says, how do you think QB1 played? I think he played terrific. He would have had another touchdown if these guys – I mean, you're in the red zone, and he throws not one to Tyreek, but 2 touchdowns to Trent Sherfield, and they don't catch it. And if McDaniel runs the ball, he extends more of these drives. Pretty sad. But very, very positive performance by the team overall, I got to say. Super disappointed in McDaniel, but excellent job by the players overall. All right, let's go. Let's get the edge with Marcel Louis Jacques from ESPN.
Time to get the edge on the Miami Dolphins with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report. When you want the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste, you can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com. Here's the ESPN Dolphin Insider, Marcel Louis Jacques.
All right. There he is. So I haven't looked at the comments because I've been this thing has been bombarded here. Did McDaniel take the heat? Did he accept the responsibility? Because he pretty much gave away this game.
I mean, he kind of just said they let some things snowball. That as a team, he would like for, I guess, them to keep momentum and have more consistency from play to play, not drop their heads, not drop their quality of play after giving up a big play or after a big penalty happens and so on and so forth.
Is that you buying any of that mental masturbation?
I think, to an extent, I'd have to go back and look at the body language, but like there were moments in this game that I would believe would be kind of debilitating to morale.
You mean like not running on 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 2 and 3rd and 3 when the 2 running backs are averaging over 7 yards a carry? You mean like that? Like that's demoralizing? Yeah, I would call that demoralizing.
It is you do kind of have to wonder why. Mostert's got 100 yards on his first 8 carries. And he finishes with 16. Um, yeah, you do. But for the most part, until it fell apart,
Salvon Ahmed was
Savon
kicking
Ahmed
ass.
was strong. It was good to see. It was good. I meant to tweet it out. It was good to see Savon. It was good to see Savon produce because he looked really strong in training camp. It just wasn't. He's not going to overtake your big money guys in Mostert and Edmonds. But he had a really good. He had a very good training camp. So it was good to see that translate to the
training
field.
camp. He was balling tonight. Forget training camp.
I'm saying it was good to see him ball out in a game because he hasn't been in a game. It's his first game, first real workload. So yeah, it was good to see him do that after the last time we saw him was in training camp. But at the same time, they were in control of this game, man. They had the 8-point lead.
Away, bro. This game, look. If you go for some of those third downs, you keep some of these drives alive. Maybe they result in more points. You go for a 2-point conversion so early in the game, which is so stupid. You're on the road, bro. Take the point. Which at the end, it would have been an 8-point game. It would have been a 9-point game. And then the other problem that reared its ugly head last week that the receivers effed up a few times. They effed up again tonight. Obviously dropping 2 touchdowns in 1 possession with Sherfield and Tyreek, and an asinine call by the coach. He puts Braylon Sanders in there. And dude, all the kid has to do is keep running, and he's running right into a touchdown. Instead, he has depth perception problems, and he thinks the ball is going to fall 15 yards short. What the F is – why are you putting that neophyte in that position, dude? These are bad coaching decisions that happen. I'm really disappointed in McDaniel the last 2 weeks.
I don't remember.
Very ignorant. Listen to this. Very ignorant football. San Francisco stuffs the middle. You do nothing when the Chargers do it. You had no adjustment to it. You refuse to use the running game. This week, the running game's working. You refuse to use the running game, and you keep failing on 3rd and shorts. You put Braylon Sanders in a position that he's not ready to put. You take a 2-point conversion when it's not even don't give me no chart. You take the damn extra point. There were so many decisions that he did that effed up this game. And one of the things that I've seen, too, is he's very stubborn.
What would the extra point have done? They lost by 3, so they lose by 2 instead of 3. No, you got to tie the game up.
It's totality, bro. It's the fundamentals of everything. It's not running the ball on those third downs. You might have extended some other drives. You might have added more points. So besides that 1, you add a field goal to that. That's 4 now, my brother. If the receivers actually hang on to a football, that's 4 more on top of your 1. That's 5 points, man. So now you're forcing them to go for a touchdown. Everything changes. It's all building blocks of mistakes that you made that you put yourself in this position overall throughout the game. That's what it happened.
I don't remember because I did a lot of shows. I did a lot of shows this week, and I don't remember who exactly I said it to. I think it was you on this show on Thursday that River Craycraft not being able to play would be a sneaky big deal. Would sneakily be a big deal. Because it bumps the rest of the receivers up. It's not like they're going to throw Alzugaray in there. He's not ready. So Sanders has to take on a role that maybe you would see Craycraft in, or maybe you would see him on the field, and so Sherfield or Wilson would be in that position instead of Sanders. Little things do have.
I'd rather see Wilson in that position or Gesicki in that position.
Yeah, Wilson came up with that great catch. They had a lot of momentum going on that drive when the snow first started falling. I like the confidence to allow Tua to keep throwing the ball despite weather conditions. And then it fell apart after that 20-yard reception. I think that the little bubble screen or screen to Tyreek, whatever that was.
No separation there. There was no window to throw there. Why are you even doing this?
Tua had his positives. The throw to Waddle. Waddle was hella open, but he put it on the spot for Jalen to catch and run in stride. And
Brother,
he
put
ran
it
the 4-year mess
perfectly
up
for Braylon Sanders. If Braylon Sanders keeps running, that's a touchdown in stride.
because everything works so fast. Everything moves so fast. I actually have not seen the replay of the Sanders pass. Because from my angle in the box, it didn't look like a great pass, but I haven't seen it. I've only seen it once.
All he
So
has to do is
I can't
instead of
say.
stopping, he just keeps running, and he probably runs right into it in stride. And who knows? It's probably a touchdown because he's splitting. It looked like the same play they hit against Buffalo earlier in the season, because he was splitting two safeties. So
It was like, and then I liked, he kind of abused DeMar Hamlin, the Bills safety, their Micah Hyde replacement, looking him off and then hitting Tyreek. Did well. There are still those plays where, like I've been saying for the past 2-3 weeks, where you want to see him create off structure. You want to see him create off script. And it still feels like, the worst version of Tua that you get is when, the rhythm is disrupted. Some guys no, it's not every quarterback. We've seen 2 weeks in a row quarterbacks that thrive when the play breaks down. It's not every quarterback. That it doesn't make him a bad quarterback. It keeps him from the upper echelon of NFL quarterbacks. Like, that's still what we're waiting for him to break out and do. It's a difficult environment to do it when it starts snowing there at the end, but it's still the next step. It still feels like, okay, outside of the rhythm of the offense, there's still
Super Bowls have been won with lesser quarterbacks than Tua. Okay,
Super Bowls have been won. I mean, it's a week
with lesser quarterbacks than Tua. Okay,
and Super Bowls have been won with better quarterbacks than Tua. Like, that's not an argument.
But my point is that's kind of the problem with this. Everybody keeps moving the goalposts. Tua wasn't the problem today.
I didn't say he was.
The game.
I didn't say he lost the game. I said that there are still moments. There are still moments where you want to
bullshit off script, bro.
Yes, there is.
No, you know what you need? You need Trent Sherfield to
catch
the goddamn ball.
What was the biggest play of the first half? What was the biggest play of the first half?
I don't know. What was it?
The final play of the first half. When Josh keeps a play alive for 7 damn seconds and then throws a touchdown. That's what creating off script does. Like, that is still what we're looking for him. That is still what's keeping him from tier 3 to tier 4.
Let me end this. Who's more accurate from the pocket, bro? Thank you for playing.
How much does that matter when the past 3 weeks teams disrupted his passing from the pocket?
Because you don't have to go off script.
Yeah,
Joe Montana wasn't going off script. Neither was Drew Brees, my brother. See, the problem is here.
This is a new game. This is a new game. This is a completely new game. It's 2022. How are you going to tell me they've lost 3 games in a row with teams disrupting their rhythm, and you're going to tell me that it doesn't fucking matter? You're going to tell me it doesn't matter?
Never won a Super Bowl because he couldn't move? Really?
Did they win a Super Bowl? Did they win a Super Bowl?
No, they didn't. But they got there.
How are you going to tell me? How are you going to tell me that the past 3 teams they've played have forced him to hang on to the ball longer, and they have lost all 3 games? How are you going to tell me there's no correlation between the two?
Because the coach screwed up. Now, if you don't want to admit it, that's another ball game. If you want,
this isn't
coach gave away this game today. Not Tua.
This isn't Tua. It's not Tua's fault. But what I keep saying, it's not. It's going one in one ear and directly through. That is keeping him from being that next level quarterback. That is still keeping. He is still excellent within the system when it works. So when the rhythm and timing is there.
So Drew Brees wasn't.
Is Tua Drew Brees? Drew Brees is Why are we comparing Tua to Hall of Famers? It's his 3rd year in the league. Why are we comparing the Hall of Fame quarterbacks?
Oh, by the way, Marcel, so you'll know history. Tua is 1,000 times better than Drew Brees was right now in his career. Just so you'll know.
It's a goofy game. That's a goofy game to play. Drew Brees is an established Hall of Fame quarterback. Like, he's just established. Tua is in year 3. Tua doesn't even have a second contract.
And he's ahead of. And he's say it with me. He's ahead of Drew Brees.
How
Say
many
it with
quarterbacks
me.
was Robert Griffin III better than as a rookie? And where did that get him? How many quarterbacks was Colin Kaepernick better than? Where did that get him? How many quarterbacks? How did Jared Goff look? How did Carson Wentz look after 3 years? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Before RG3 was his coach served him up and left him out there injured with one leg, and then Haloti Nada finished his ass off, bro.
The whole point is like we're not comparing full careers to partial careers right now. Like Tua is Tua. Tua is not Drew Brees.
You gotta start. No, but you say he can't play off script, and then I tell you, Bob Greasy doesn't play off script. Drew Brees doesn't play off script. Joe Montana's not playing off script.
We're gonna bring up We're gonna bring up the 70s. We're gonna bring up the 70s and 80s and 90s.
Drew Brees is the 70s and the 90s. He's not the 2000s.
Did you just say Greasy?
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Did Drew Brees not just retire a couple years ago?
And how was he when he retired? How was he when the game? How was he when the game evolved? How was he when the game evolved? Like, we're not. You're missing the point completely.
What are you talking about, bro? He and Sean Payton lit up the NFL. Did you watch anything
from 07 to 2016?
Whatever.
They won their title, and then what?
Matter, bro. The greatest show on turf. It doesn't matter. You think Torrey Holt, Isaac Cruz, and Marshall Faulk won't run nowadays, dude? Are you playing the old man game now? Like
where's the Marshall Faulk? Where's the Marshall Faulk on this team? But it doesn't matter. Like I feel like
things of the past that don't work now.
What
you're doing.
Is that not what you've been doing for the past 10 minutes? Talk about Bob Greasy and Drew Brees and Kurt Warner?
I'm trying to show you that the off-script stuff is a bullshit narrative.
Yeah, that's the exception. It's the exception. It's the exception, not the rule.
Mean shit, dude.
It is the exception, not the rule. Yes, it does.
Where does Peyton Manning going off-script, my brother? Where is Tom Brady going off-script?
First of all, Peyton Manning was the damn script. Peyton Manning wrote the script. Peyton Manning wrote the script. What are you talking about? Everything that happened, Peyton saw 4 plays.
You're not running, dude. You're saying are you saying Tom Brady and Peyton Manning play like Josh Allen?
Actually, you know what I am saying? I'm saying Tua is not Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Tua is not Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Then why bring them up?
Because
then why bring them up?
Because they're pocket passers, dude. They're not off.
He is not them. He's not them. Dude, he's not that. This is a new era of quarterback.
I know.
This is a new era of football.
He's more like Montana and Breeze. Okay, that's what he is.
Bro, where are the statues? Like, where are the statues in today's game? Today, 2022. I give a fuck about 2002. Who are these statue pocket passers? Can't move outside the pocket.
The statue has won more titles than everybody else.
Where today are the statues on the top tier of quarterbacks? I don't either. I don't either.
Yeah,
like, what are we arguing about? We're talking about 03 and 04. We're talking about the 72 Dolphins team.
And how many of those how many of those moving quarterbacks have titles?
I think Patrick Mahomes has a title.
Thanks for playing again. Thanks for playing.
Patrick Mahomes just won a title.
Where's the trophy for Josh Allen, bro? Where are they? I'm sorry, I must have missed it, my brother.
I don't know. He keeps losing to another quarterback who excels off script.
Lamar Jackson's off script, my brother. Where are all those titles? Where are the titles?
Lamar Jackson is not off script. Lamar Jackson is one read and he runs. Like, that's his off script. Like, if Tua had that in him, that'd be nice. But like, they're not the same passer.
Outside of the guy in Kansas City, what else you got?
The guy we just saw play today. The guy they just saw play 2 weeks ago.
No titles. No. It's about titles. Okay.
Then Pat Mahomes just did it.
No, bro. We're talking titles now. Okay. Breeze has titles. Montana has titles. Greasy has titles. Where's Josh Allen?
In 2000.
Where's Josh Allen?
Was it in
And there's
2009 and
Josh Allen.
1972? I don't know. Josh Allen's on the winning
circles.
podium tonight, dude. Like
You're running circles.
I don't understand. Like, I never said Tua was the reason they lost.
You brought up a narrative that has nothing to do with what happened tonight.
Because you keep throwing unnecessary information in here. It's 1 a.m, and I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You keep bringing up Bob Greasy and Peyton Manning when we're talking about Tua Tagovailoa.
No, it's education, not information.
Yeah, it's simple. It is simple common sense. Tua is not Peyton Manning. Like, I will not take. You're right. I won't accept that. I don't care if every comment cooks me for saying it. I know. Don't boo me when I'm right. You're asking. You're saying Peyton Manning. It worked for Peyton Manning.
You're spinning
it.
You said no. You said off script. You said off script. It doesn't matter your size. It doesn't matter your speed. Off script. You said that yourself. That Tua's not off script. I just gave you the guy that's won the most titles, and he's a statue. And another guy that won 2 titles
because he is one of the greatest players to play this game. He is arguably the smartest player to ever play this game.
You can't be a great player being a statue.
Is Tua's up here? Is that Peyton Manning?
Hey, by
is that Tom Brady? Is he up here? Is he Drew Brees?
Oh, by the way,
remember when we had a conversation like in August when you told me that Teddy Bridgewater with a little more talent would be a Hall of Famer,
yes.
Because of up here, Like, then let's go back to talking about the mentals. Like, it doesn't matter if you only have one half of the equation. Is he Drew Brees? Right. Does he see the game like Drew Brees, or do they just have similar? Or do they just have similar physical qualities?
No. I think he's exactly like those guys. Super smart. They see the field, and they're super accurate. Yes. And by the way, I think he's more Montana than Brees. Just so you'll know. Okay?
I think that we've mentioned
them all, actually.
I think that there have been 7 Hall of Fame quarterbacks mentioned in this conversation when we're originally talking about a guy in his 3rd season. I think these comparisons are insane.
No.
I think they're asinine comparisons.
You just cornered him by saying he can't be great if he's not off script.
I didn't say. I said that's what's keeping him. That's what's keeping him. That is what's keeping him from the next echelon. I've been saying this for 3 weeks, and you sat on the other side of the camera. But now all of a sudden, well, Peyton Manning did it, so so can Tua. Like, what are we talking about? I've said the same thing for 3 weeks. I've said the same thing for 3 weeks.
By the way,
that's great. Let's see this one. That's great for them. Let's see this one.
It happens all the time.
I don't care. Then let it happen here. Why isn't it happening here? Oh,
it'll evolve as time goes on, dude. Guys will show up again in the league that aren't great moving around, but they're smart enough to work right from the pocket. All they need is a foot here, a foot there. They don't need to move that much. There's lots of those, Marcel. You make it sound, again, you're young, so you're painted into a picture now that you think everybody's got to be athletic and run. And so I get it that's where the game is going. I understand that. But the guy that still can play from the pocket can still win in this league and be elite and be a Hall of Famer. And apparently you don't think so. That's all.
If we're in 1997, then I probably wouldn't be making this argument.
Right. And Drew Brees didn't play in 1997.
If this was 2009, I probably wouldn't be making this argument. This whole conversation has gotten
only on decade.
This whole conversation has gone ironically so far off script. The only point I was making is that we're still not seeing that. I did not say Tua didn't do enough to win. I said we're still not seeing the off script stuff from him. He did enough. I just complimented him before. I was talking about how he moved the defense with his eyes, about his ball placement to Waddle, about his ball placement to Hill. I didn't say he's a bad thrower of the football. He is excellent. When the system's working, he is excellent. When everything is operating in synergy, he has been excellent. But everything doesn't operate in synergy all the time. And that is just the next thing that we need to see from Tua. Like that's all. Can they win? Can he win like this? Sure, they've won 8 fucking games. Yes, they can win like that. The next thing from him, the part that makes him into a quarterback that evens odds, the one that overcomes mismatches and adversity and bad weather and injuries and all this and bad play calling and all this shit. That's what the next level of quarterbacks do. That's the next step that we're looking from Tua. I didn't say he's a bad quarterback. Like this is, I'm not gonna sit here.
You're expecting Mike Gesicki to block too now? Is that what's
well?
next?
Other tight ends have had good careers without blocking, so I don't know.
You hanging out with a genie or something? Did you rub some kind of a lamp?
Like
you're completely unrealistic. That's not who he is.
The gaslight, like you are gaslighting like a college senior talking to a freshman right now. Like we're so far off the conversation, man. Like that is what I'm saying. That's
brought up something that has nothing to do with it, dude.
Yes, it does.
Nothing to do with it. If you look at the talent, if you look at the player, you have to understand that that's not who he is. So you're putting unrealistic expectations. So when he doesn't meet your unrealistic expectations, you're going to blame him when it's your fault because you couldn't see what the player really is. That's the problem. It's like asking Mike Gesicki to block when he can't play like Pat Mahomes, dude. He's never going to play like Russell Wilson. He's not going to play like that. That's not who he is. He has to play like Tom Brady, like Peyton Manning, like Drew Brees, like Joe Montana. He has to stay in the pocket, make his hay, once in a blue moon, run out and gain a couple yards. But if you want him, scrambling around like all these other guys, that's not who he is, dude. He doesn't have that kind of athleticism. So that's where I'm telling you, you couldn't be more wrong because that's not who he's ever going to be. Ever.
That's okay.
Ever.
Oh, okay. Then we're gonna watch teams continue to make him hold on to the ball, and we're gonna continue to. I'm not gonna have this conversation anymore. We're just gonna watch it. We're just gonna watch teams continue to make him hold on to the ball, continue to take away the middle of the field, and we're gonna just sit here and we're gonna yell at everybody except for. We're gonna yell at everybody except for like.
Let's take the middle of the field.
You
adjust and play other way.
Hey, this is it's the Big O show. This isn't the Marcel Louis Jacques show. Whatever you say goes. Whatever you say goes. Like we're sitting here talking about in circles.
I get that, but he adjusted today with the running game, and that's what you're supposed to do. Okay? I mean, that's what you would and you if you notice when he goes to the outsides, the backwards were coming in when he was having success. Then it was opening up the middle of the field at that time. Once you start running and throwing to the sides, the guys got sucked in, and he was able to go over the top and into the middle, and that's where he had the waddle play. But dude, you have to adjust. That's part of the game. So you make it sound like if they take away the middle, he's stuck in a pocket and he can't find anything. That can't be the reality, bro. Come on.
Sure. Sure. Bro, like I'm not gonna talk about this anymore. We're talking in circles.
All right.
We're talking in circles. Let's move on. Let's talk about the defense or some shit. Let's talk about the O-line. Let's talk about anything else. Let's talk about anything else.
What else stood out to you that you might say cost them the game?
Well, again, beyond abandoning the run, and inability to get off the field on third down. It's a troubling trend over the past 3 weeks that is now it's bit them in the ass once again. 3rd and 17, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4. It doesn't matter anymore. Like they are incapable. It's almost like they either cause a big play or they're giving up slow bleeds.
They're not good.
Let me. I had the numbers. I had the third down stats up. Where'd they go? 8 of 14.
Who's special on this team on defense right now?
Javon Holland, Jalen Phillips, Christian Wilkins. I think Kader Kohu's got potential to be special, but we see we see a lot of rookie mistakes in critical moments. We've seen a couple PIs in critical moments. Which is
understandable for a young kid like him. You can let it slide.
I'm not telling you. I'm not calling him trash. I'm not calling him trash. I'm not saying kick him off the team. I'm not saying kick him off the team. But things like DPI or hold whatever that was, it can't happen in that situation.
Right. Of course.
Another third down. Red zone efficiency was bad.
Cedar, right?
But Sealer was good today. I thought Wilkins wasn't as impactful as he's been the past 2 weeks, but that's just because of how high the bar was set, and how high of a bar he has set over the past 2 weeks. Um, Beyond that,
Okay, so
just
Marcel,
too many
you would agree
instances
with
of.
me? Hold on. So you would agree with me? Those 5 guys you mentioned are pretty much your impactful players right now on defense. That's it. X is not what he was before. Obviously, you can tell, dude. He's not even close to the monster he's been in the past. You could tell that the explosion is not there with him, and he can't play as aggressive. And then anybody else you name on that defense, Chubb unfortunately has not even come close to meeting up the standards that he either signed for or you traded for. So how can this defense be great when there's only 5 guys that you can really count on, down in and down out? And one of them is not playing, Sealer, does he get as many snaps? He gets a little less. So, he doesn't even get as many as you would like. But think about that. How can we expect any kind of greatness from that?
It's hard, and I don't like using injuries as an excuse because no team, no winning team likes to hear that. No winning side likes to hear that from the other team. Like nobody in week 3, nobody liked to hear, "Oh, we were injured, we were missing, we're this," from Buffalo fans. So I don't like to hang on to injuries like that. But when the strength of this team, when this defense is built around the strength of the secondary, and you lose 70% of the secondary, all of a sudden you're developing a new defense on the fly. I think, if you've got Brandon Jones, if you've got Byron Jones, you've got Nick Needham, and you can work Kohu in as you see fit. Shoot, I don't even know if you just had Needham and Brandon Jones.
No, remember True Williams was climbing
True
also.
Williams was so the depth is shot. The starting talent has taken a hit. Like we have seen a defense try to recalibrate itself on the fly, and it often doesn't work, and they're often off page or off, they're out of whack.
So I feel that you're absolutely unrealistic about Tua. Are people sometimes unrealistic about this defense and what they're asking of Boyer?
You broke up a little bit there. What'd you say?
So as I feel like you're unrealistic with Tua, thinking he's going to be an off-the-fly guy and running around all that. I don't think that'll ever happen. There are a lot of people out there that expect more from the defense. Is it fair to expect more from the defense and Boyer when only 5 guys are really the impactful players for you week in and week out?
I mean, I guess so. I think it's the NFL, and so you kind of expect people to adjust. Like you expect to find that level. You expect to find your success, to find a way, if you will. Like I'm not ready to burn Josh Boyer's house down. Like I'm not ready to run him out of town. Like I don't think it's that dramatic. Like sometimes we can kind of, as you just saw, everybody in attendance just saw, sometimes you can talk yourself in circles about things when in reality, like sometimes you just straight up lose a game. Were there opportunities that Miami should have taken advantage of? Of course, absolutely. But like missed plays are part of the game. They happened on both sides. One team made more plays than the other at the end of the day, and there's no shame to losing to Buffalo and Buffalo like this. Everybody I've spoken with in that tunnel, media from both sides, particularly Buffalo media, have told me this team can beat the Bills. If they come back here in the playoffs, this team can beat the Bills. Like that, people came away highly impressed from Miami's play this week or Miami's play.
I'm happy. I'm happy with the team, bro.
Like they can be.
I'm really proud. I'm really proud of the
like,
team. Super disappointed in McDaniel, but I am really happy with the team. Really happy with the team, dude. I thought they played well enough to win. Seriously. I thought the receivers, too many drops. And then I think McDaniel's decisions really cost this team, dude. Just really do. But I would feel good if I'm a Dolphins fan out there for the next 3 games after this kind of performance. And Tua, too. I thought he played well, and he needed to play well after the last 2 games where he played absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I think, this was and what we saw, we heard Tua say in the week, he wants he wanted those short completions. He wanted to see, in theory, the ball go through the hoop. He did that. He did that tonight. He hit his checkdowns tonight. He was more accurate tonight. There weren't throws he made that was just, you're saying, what on earth? Like, what were you doing? And he's usually been good, like this, from a decision-making process. Actually, I think there were one or two. The one that really stands out was, I think, he tried to throw that out route to Waddle in, it must have been the third quarter, because they're going opposite the press box. Third quarter, throws an out route to Waddle covered by Tre'Davious White. That is one of those decisions, when I talk about going off script, that is one of those decisions that it feels like, okay, that's my read. Like, that's where we want to go with the ball. Like, I'm just going to make it happen no matter what. And that was a poor decision. It didn't burn them at the end of the day, but like those still pop up every now and then. But he was much better tonight than he had been the previous 2 weeks. And I thought, last game his stats were bad, but his stats were bad. Guys weren't open and they weren't adjusting to that physical press. And
yeah,
it felt like banging their head against the wall. San Francisco, he was bad. I thought he was worse against the Niners than he was against the Chargers, ironically.
Oh, yeah. No, he was terrible against the Niners. The worst part about the Niners was those plays were wide open. That was the worst part about the Niners. At least the Charger game, they were covered. They played them up tight and all that, and so they didn't give them a lot of airspace. And kudos to those guys, bro. They stepped up. But, yeah, and the Niners game hurt because, like, he missed wide open people, dude. Like, shit that he never does. It's really weird. Like, he never plays like that. So, what we saw tonight is what we've seen for the other 8 games. And the guy's going to be on target more often than not. You'll be fine. Yeah. Just run. I
think there's a way on True Media to isolate plays, like pass attempts from outside the pocket or pass attempts longer than whatever yards. Because I do, obviously I say a lot about Tua off script, but I want to watch. I do want to see what his receivers are doing when he's trying to buy time. I want to see what the scramble drill is. I always loved the Packers back in Aaron Rodgers' heyday. The Packers used to run scramble drills specifically for when he rolls out of the pocket. You have alternative routes. If you're running a go, like you're going to snap that off and come back to the ball. You're going to do X, Y, Z. I'm curious how much of that they do here. I want to see what his receivers do to help him out before I put the onus on him.
Not a fair comparison. Okay.
I want to do. It's less about, but that's less about the quarterback and more about the scheme itself. It's less about the quarterback and more.
That mother effer can move around and he throws the ball like it's a
But the thing is, the thing is, Tua's not unathletic. Like, that's the thing. Like, when we compare him to Drew Brees, Tua is more athletic than Drew Brees. Tua is more athletic than Peyton Manning. He's more athletic than Tom Brady.
But not enough to be Mahomes. Not enough to be Russell Wilson. Not enough for Jalen Hurts. Not enough. I mean, forget it. Now I'm getting crazy.
He's not design runs for him mobile, but he's shifty enough. He's shifty and athletic enough that he should be able to extend a play and throw on the run. I think when we talked about, and it's going to be a hot button issue, whatever. When we talked about arm strength, it was never like, when people say he can't throw the ball downfield, I used to think it was the dumbest thing in the world. Like, yes, he can throw the ball downfield. That's not
playing the cold or the rain. That's ridiculous too, bro. Give me a break. Come on, dude. He now has coaching. He now has more talent. His problem the last 2 years was he was surrounded by crap, dude. That was his problem more than anything else the last 2 years. Now he has a fighting chance every damn week. That's why he can perform with any kind of weather, bro. Just design it the right way and he'll be fine. That's all. It's not that difficult, but whatever. Anyway, what are you working on ESPN, bro, so you can get the hell out of here?
I was about to say, I'm just catching up to trying to tell my editor I'm on the radio. I've got 4 or 5 slacks from him. I'm sorry, man. But let's see. Positives. Let's what the rest of the season looks like, how they match up against Green Bay, against New York, against New England. I'm gonna watch this film and kind of find
little rip job
exactly
for McDaniel.
How things went wrong.
I want a little rip job for McDaniel now.
And we'll see. We'll see that. We'll see. We'll see. Because
Spank that ass.
nobody
Spank that ass.
nobody's complaining about McDaniel's play calling if Sherfield or Tyree catch that touchdown. Like nobody's complaining if they complete the third down slant and then hit the field goal at the end. Like nobody. It's like going for it on fourth down, going for it on 2-point conversions. Like nobody complains when it goes right. Like we criticize when it goes wrong. You know what I'm saying? So like I want to make sure
you went wrong every time tonight. That's the problem. You didn't have anything to fall back on all those third downs. They all went awry every single time. And meanwhile, the running game is golden. So it's crazy. All right. Go get your other job done. Follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ and catch his work there at ESPN. Have a great weekend and safe travels, dude.
Yes, sir. Peace.
You got it. There we go. You now have the edge. Don't forget, Big O. Use the code. You get 10% off the finest energy drink on the planet. MyEdgeDrink.com. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. I swear to you. When you order this thing and get it, you're going to remember me forever. You're going to drop every stinking energy drink you've ever tried before because this one just absolutely crushes them all. There is no aftertaste. Every damn sports drink I've ever tried has an aftertaste until this one, Edge, and it tastes delicious. And when you mix it with a little vodka, whew, it is out of control. Only 78 calories, delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. MyEdgeDrink.com. Use the code Big O. Get 10% off.
You now have the edge on the Miami Dolphins with the Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins Report featuring ESPN's Marcel Louis-Jacques. Get the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste. You can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com.
To me, that was ridiculous. I love Marcel, but anybody that thinks that you can't be a great quarterback in this league playing from the pocket, I get it, man. If you can get the perfect guy that can run around and throw it, it's fantastic. It's awesome. It's the way we're going. I know we're headed in that direction. I totally understand it. And I believe that as time goes on, athletic quarterbacks will become more accurate and they'll become better pocket passers, not just guys on the move, right? Because that's kind of the combination. Look at Josh Allen. Did you watch today? That's why I told Marcel, he can't make a living from the pocket all the time. He has to run because he's not accurate. How many times did he miss today? He had a couple guys open that he overthrew. He could have put more points on the board on Miami, but he wasn't accurate. And that's been an issue with Josh. He's improved it drastically from his days at Wyoming, from the time I saw him at the Senior Bowl. But he's still not that guy that is deadly accurate like Aaron Rodgers, like Pat Mahomes. These guys are killers, bro. When Brady's in his groove, these guys are killers. That's the difference. And to me, it's ridiculous. It's just another thing. Oh, Tua can't play in the cold. Now, what do you say after that? He was in the cold the entire game, bro. Oh, he can't play in the cold. Well, you're wrong. So now what? We're going to move to the rain? Is that what it is now? It's stupid. The goalpost is moved for him every single time. And now the next one is, oh, I want to see him off script. That's not who he is. And I can't give him any more examples. He's young. He hasn't watched the game like I have. And I'm sorry if I have to play the old man, get off my lawn, whatever bullshit. But I'm sorry. And he made it sound like Drew Brees retired 8 years ago when Drew Brees just retired 4 years ago. Or 3. I think it was 3, actually. And he probably retired 1 year too late because he was pretty bad that year. He was. And it happens. But Drew Brees was a great player, man. Tom Brady has been a statue his entire life. He's not off script. Marino wasn't running around. Did Marino roll out a time or two? Sure, dude, but he was sliding a foot or two and killing you from there. Pocket passers can always make it in this league if you're accurate. This kid's accurate. But now you want him to be moving around like Mahomes? That's not him. That's not fair. Oh, he can't do that. Well, he never could do that. That's not who he is. Whatever. What can I tell you? Sean, any more super chats come in? I'm not exactly sure. All right, here we go. Leon Fresco, McDaniel addressed the criticism and said, defense expected him to run on 3rd and short and needed to get ahead of the defense, maybe a screen to the back. Whatever. Run the damn ball, dude. You failed every single time. You never tried it. 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. You never tried it. If you would have tried it and failed half the time, and then the other half you were passing and failed, then we got nothing to talk about. But you passed every time and you failed, and so that's where I can't give McDaniel the break. Leon, thank you as always, my brother. Appreciate you. John Newman, it was the ducking defense. Jonathan, we will disagree on that, my brother. I will go with Mike McDaniel in the offense. Next up. That defense is just bad. That's it? Okay. All righty. And let's see what we got here. Frank, thank you, sir. He sent us a little Bitcoin. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate you, my brother. That is very nice of you. Always love it. Remember, you can send Bitcoin, Cash App, or Venmo. That is Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show on Cash App or Venmo. Sending a little Bitcoin. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate you, man. That is very nice. For the love love the show. Great game overall. Although the offense misfired, I hope we are fired up for a Christmas right game. Thanks for staying up and reflecting with us, Dolphin fans. Thank you. Appreciate you, Frank Ghazi. Thank you, sir. That is very nice of you. Dropping a little Bitcoin. That's always my favorite right there. All right, I think it's time to wrap it up, man. It is already 1:41. It's time for you all to go to sleep, relax. I know that they lost, and that sucks, but they played a hell of a game. I'm really proud of the team overall. McDaniel will bounce back. He'll figure this out, dude. He's too smart. He's too good. He'll get it. He'll get it right. Listen, I wasn't happy with Tua, like most of us. Doesn't mean we gave up on Tua. Well, some of us that we believe in Tua, we never gave up on Tua. But we got to admit, when he doesn't play well, he doesn't play well. We got to say it. He came back this week, and it was beautiful. Team gave you a great effort. McDaniel has made this team better. There's no doubt in my mind. He's got the kind of mindset you need in today's game. I get it. Just got to tweak a little bit. Young coaches, they're going to outthink themselves. They're going to make mistakes. We kind of got to grow with it. But this isn't Cam Cameron. Okay? This isn't, any of the guys that we've had in the past, Adam Gase, you name it, Brian Flores. I could go on and talk about the different guys that I wasn't happy with, and you just knew that they didn't have it. This guy has it. His team was prepared this week. A couple decisions might have changed the entire outcome of tonight's game. Hopefully he can learn from those. But I don't think there's a Dolphin fan out there that should feel depressed about the team. Disappointed about the loss? That's fair for all of us. Disappointed in the team? No. I'm really proud of the effort that they put together. It was pretty awesome today. It was fun. They took it all the way down to the end, man. So they didn't get blown out, which would have been a nightmare for all of us if they would have gotten blown out. That would have been just unacceptable. So hang in there. Stay positive. We'll be back on Monday at 10 a.m. We are going to rest. You all be good out there. Sean Stanley, you are a stud, sir. As always, thank you. Also, I want to thank Chad for helping us out and doing the pregame show. We will see you all on Monday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Love you all. Go Phinz.
This has been the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins Postgame Show on the Sports Talk 305 Network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Show. From home to kitchen to bathroom additions and remodelings. Get in contact with one of the best contractors in the business. Call Eric at EJDConstruction.com. 305-433-4843. Please subscribe to our platform by searching Big O Radio Show on all digital avenues. On behalf of all our staff, we thank you for supporting us. Have a fantastic week.